Throughout our lives, most of us have been conditioned to believe that getting good grades and being book smart is the only legitimate type of intelligence. Often, the strengths and talents of many people are overlooked in favor of celebrating the person with the highest GPA or test scores. Not that those aren't great accomplishments, but intelligence is not a one size fits all situation. It comes in many different forms. Maybe you're naturally good at solving puzzles and complex problems. Or perhaps you have a gift for understanding your own emotions while being able to effectively read other people and decode social situations. Intelligence is not just one thing and can't be measured simply by how well you do in school. So grab a cup of coffee, tea, or whatever your favorite beverage is and join us in exploring a fun but thought-provoking Psych2Go quiz. What is your intelligence type? As always, this quiz is just for fun and self-reflection, not a diagnosis or professional assessment. Ready? Grab a pen, keep track of your answers, and let's begin. This quiz is inspired by psychologist Howard Gardner's theory of multiple intelligences, which suggests that intelligence is not limited to one type, but at least 8 distinct types of intelligence, and that humans possess varying degrees of ability across these different types. Basically, the idea is that intelligence exists on a spectrum, and that humans can exhibit weaknesses in one area but excel at another. So, if you've ever felt not smart enough because you struggle in one area, I mean, who hasn't, right? This video might help you see your unique strengths in a new light. Question 1. You're stuck in a difficult situation. What's your first instinct? A. Analyze the problem logically, step by step. B. Talk it out with someone you trust. C. Trust your gut feeling. Or D. Imagine creative or unconventional solutions. Question 2. Which activity sounds the most satisfying to you? A. Solving puzzles or strategy games. B. Writing stories, songs, or drawing. C. Helping someone through emotional problems. Or D. Building, fixing, or organizing something physically. Question 3. At school or work, people usually come to you for A. Advice and emotional support. B. Creative ideas. C. Facts, explanations, or problem solving. Or D. Motivation and leadership. Question 4. Which environment makes you feel most energized? A. A peaceful place alone with your thoughts. B. A lively group conversation. C. A hands-on activity or outdoor adventure. Or D. A place full of music, art, or inspiration. Question number 5. You learn best when A. You hear or discuss information. B. You see visuals, diagrams, or patterns. C. You physically try things yourself. Or D. You connect emotionally with the topic. Question 6. Which sounds most like you? A. I notice patterns others miss. B. I can sense someone's moods quickly. C. I express myself best creatively. Or D. I'm very aware of my body and movement. Question 7. If you had unlimited free time, what would you most likely spend it doing? A. Researching random topics for fun. B. Making art, music, or content. C. Spending time with people you care about. Or D. Exploring nature, sports, or travel. Question 8. What kind of compliments affect you the most? A. You're really smart. B. You really understand people. C. You are so creative. Or D. You really make things happen. Question 9. In conversations, you tend to A. Observe quietly before speaking. B. Tell stories or make people laugh. C. Ask thoughtful questions. Or D. Get excited explaining ideas or theories. And finally, question 10. What feels most important to you in life? A, understanding yourself and the world. B, connecting deeply with others. C, creating something meaningful. Or D, experiencing life directly and fully. All done. Now let's see what your answers might reveal. If you got mostly A's, logical or interpersonal intelligence, you may have strong logical, reflective, or analytical intelligence. You enjoy understanding systems, patterns, and deeper meanings. You may be the type who overthinks texts at 2 a.m., watches documentaries for fun, or suddenly starts researching how black holes work after seeing one TikTok. People with this intelligence type often enjoy strategy, psychology, philosophy, coding, science, or self-reflection. You may also spend a lot of time inside your own head. Your strength is depth, but sometimes you may struggle with perfectionism, overanalyzing, or disconnecting emotionally while trying to figure everything out. Remember, being intelligent doesn't mean having all the answers. Sometimes it means being curious enough to keep asking questions. If you got mostly B's, interpersonal intelligence. You may have strong people intelligence. You're emotionally aware, socially intuitive, and often good at understanding how others feel. Friends may come to you for advice, comfort, or reassurance because you create emotional safety around you. You probably notice little things, tone changes, awkward silences, the "I'm fine" when it definitely doesn't mean I'm fine. This kind of intelligence is deeply valuable, even if society doesn't always reward it the same way it rewards grades or achievements. But there's also a downside. Sometimes people with high interpersonal intelligence absorb too much from others. You may struggle with boundaries, emotional burnout, or putting everyone else first. Your empathy is powerful. Just don't forget to include yourself in the care you give. Mostly C's. Creative intelligence. You may have strong creative or artistic intelligence. Your mind naturally connects ideas, emotions, and imagination together. You might express yourself through art, storytelling, humor, music, fashion, editing, or even the way you decorate your room. You don't just want information, you want meaning, feeling, atmosphere. Creative intelligence often shows up in people who feel deeply and notice details others overlook. But because your brain works differently, traditional systems may have made you feel misunderstood growing up. Maybe people called you too sensitive, too dreamy, too distracted. But creativity is not a weakness. Some of the most impactful ideas in history came from people who saw the world differently. And if you got mostly D's, bodily or experiential intelligence, you may have strong bodily kinesthetic intelligence. You learn best through movement, action, and experiencing rather than just theory. Sitting still, listening to lectures for hours may feel draining to you. But once you physically do something yourself, it clicks instantly. You may thrive in sports, dance, performance, crafts, travel, or hands-on work. Your body and instincts often work together naturally. This intelligence type is often underestimated because many people associate intelligence only with academics, but physical awareness, timing, coordination, adaptability, and action-based learning are forms of intelligence too. Not every genius sits behind a desk. Some people understand life best by actually living it. And honestly, the world needs more of that energy sometimes. So, which intelligence type did you get? And did it surprise you? Of course, most people are actually a mix of different intelligence types. Human beings are complex and no quiz can fully define who you are. But hopefully this reminded you that intelligence is bigger than test scores, grades, or how productive you are. You may be